As the Trump administration gets set to mark its 100th day in office, a new CBS News poll finds most Americans do believe they're seeing major changes to how the government works. But how do they feel about all that's going on so far? CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, is here to break it all down for us. Thanks for joining us today. So what kinds
Hey, Mike, great to talk to you.
Yeah, so what kind of changes do people see right now?
Short answer, Mike, is major ones. Let me show you this. So you get 3/4 of people who say they think the administration is making major changes to how the U.S. government works. Similar, large majorities think it's making changes to how the U.S. economy works, too. Let me stay on the economy for a second because I want to show you this. The first 100 days, very much a story about perceived focus, especially on those economic numbers, because look at this. You see nearly 7 in 10 say that they don't think the administration has yet put enough focus on efforts to lower prices. Why is that important? Because inflation and prices have been for years a top concern of Americans, and there, you know, you're going to see a little bit of that driving the president's relatively lower numbers now on handling inflation specifically. Those have been declining over recent weeks, over his term. So key issue for a lot of Americans, still in their minds waiting to see the administration put more focus on it at 100 days, Mike.
And what do the impact of tariffs have on the inflation numbers?
Well, tariffs are key here because if you go back and look at focus and what people think the administration is or is not focused on, you see large numbers who say they think the administration is putting too much focus on putting new tariffs on other countries. The reason that connects to prices is that they believe that new tariffs will raise prices, and of course they're sensitive to that with inflation being such a concern. The other part with regard to tariffs is that increasing numbers now say that they don't think the president has a clear plan for trade and tariffs, so that may be undermining confidence in that a little bit. And then there again, you get not only declining approval ratings on handling the economy and inflation, but also this number where people say, more likely to say that they think the administration's policies are making them financially worse off as opposed to better off. That's different from their expectations coming into this administration when more thought those policies would make them financially better off. So that's part of the difference that you're seeing in the public mind on economics and inflation at 100 days, Mike.
Tried and true Republicans are telling me, well, I don't know any other Republican that voted for Trump that regrets the vote. Now, regretting the vote is different than disapproving of policies, but do you sense that? Do you sense that any erosion is coming more from independents or apolitical people?
The movement in the president's ratings have come from people who were giving him a chance largely on the economy, who expected his policies to lower prices or make them financially better off, and at this point don't think the administration has put enough focus on that. His political base is overwhelmingly approving of what they see so far. Couple of points on that. One, you see when you ask people if it's enough time now at 100 days to judge the administration, see big numbers of Republicans who say no, it is not enough time yet, even though at this point they do approve, right? And then the other part of this is the U.S. economy, whereas Americans overall, a slight majority say they think the outlook is getting worse. You see big numbers of, in particular, MAGA Republicans, again, the president's political base, 70% saying no, they think the economy is getting better. So a lot of confidence in the president still coming from that political base, Mike.
Well, thank you for your time, and we do appreciate your insights. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.